Hello and welcome back to Throttle Up. Today we are going to review. Okay, no, let's wait for a second. Let's take a step back and appreciate Citroen's perfect market positioning strategy. They launched the Citroen C3 as a premium hatchback with a twist, but just in two variants, where the upper one seems to compete against the likes of premium hatchbacks and the mini SUVs and even the compact SUVs, but the lower variant, the base variant, seems to tackle the likes of Maruti Swift, Tiago, or maybe even the Wagoner. This we have today is the Citroen C3 Live variant, which is technically the base variant of the car. It still makes a really good proposition against the smaller hatchbacks because it has a very good stance. It comes at an ex showroom of around 5.7 lakhs. We do not get any premium features in this car, but I think what matters in a car of this segment is the build quality, the drivability, and the comfort to actually sustain long distances so that you can be comfortable while even driving it in the city or even taking it for a long drive. I've already covered the top variant of the Citroen C3, so if you're interested in that, you can check that out by clicking on the card on the top right. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the review and see what all does Citroen C3 offer. The Live variant gets a 1.2 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine married to a manual gearbox which produces around 82 PS of max power and 115 Nm of torque. Now, coming to the key fob first, you do not get any electronic operations or any buttons for lock and unlock. It's just a simple key. You do not get any central locking as well. Coming to the front fascia, the Citroen logo is done very neatly. It runs with the silver garnishes. There's no chrome. The chrome is, however, in place of the DRLs. So you do not get any DRLs on both the sides, top and below. But there's chrome, there's halogen bulb, no fog lamps on offer. This is how the headlamp unit looks when it's lit up. There is no LED treatment, there's no projector setup, simple halogen bulbs for the parking and the normal lamp. You do not get any skid plate like you do on the Feel variant. You get black plastic bumper with an ADAM to provide ventilation. There is no front parking sensor or camera, but you do not also get in that in the Feel variant. The Citroen logo is done very nicely, but you get it that in the chrome as compared to the silver appeal which you have in the base variant. There's chrome used in the Feel variant. Now this is a side profile. You can see there is no black plastic cladding. The handles are in black. The rear view mirror is finished in glossy black, unlike the hard matte black, which is a nice touch. There's no roof rails on offer. The antenna remains the same. There's no use of chrome. As you can see, the ORVM is glossy black, which is a nice touch. You get indicators on the fender. You get the same wheel from the Feel variant of 195/65 R15, which is a steel wheel, but the design is alloy. The same design like in the Feel variant. There is no cladding, but there's this line on the door which gives it a sort of a different finish. You get black handles. Coming to the rear, it's almost the same with a few different touches. The logo and the badging remains the same. It's Citroen and C3 written right there, just like in the topmost variant. You do not get any orange accenting because there's no wipe pack option. You do get the rear parking sensor and the reflectors. But since there is no wipe pack on offer, you do not get those orange surrounds. There is no fake exhaust design. So coming to the other features, there is no wiper, there is no defogger. You do get a stop lamp. Coming to the tail light, it's the same unit from the topmost variant. You get Citroen written right there. It's a proper halogen setup, no LED treatment. This is how the halogen lamp looks when it's lit up. You get normal brake lights as halogen, and there's your reverse light and your indicator in halogen. So this was for the rear. You do get the exhaust down below, a simple exhaust which is inconspicuous because it's down below. There is the exhaust, as I mentioned, on the right side. There is this diffuser sort of treatment in the black plastic, but you do not get any body colored bumper. Now what's very frustrating is that you do not get any button down there. If you have to open the boot, you have to go to the front door, pull that lever just right below the driver's side seat, just like this. Then only you can open your boot, because there is no electromagnetic button for opening the boot. As you can see, there is the hollow space there, no button. This should have been given actually. This is a 315 liters boot which comes with a fifth spare wheel, which is a 14-incher. The other four wheels are 15-incher, however. Overall, the boot is adequately shaped and would suffice the purpose. The wheels do eat up a bit of the space in the boot. You get a max 3 kg loading hook also. The loading lip is a bit on the higher side, but nothing you can't work around with. The frustrating part is that you do not get any button to open the boot from the rear itself. Coming to the doors, It's all finished in black. There is no use of leather or fabric. It's all hard plastics, hard plastic, hard plastic, hard plastic. You do not get any chrome on the door handles. You get manual adjust for the windows. You get speaker and space to keep your bottle. Coming to the back seat, the recline angle is very upright. You do not get any adjustable headrest, which I did not expect honestly. Now getting into the car is easy. The leg space is adequate. No magazine holders. The thigh support is also adequate. Again, nothing to complain about as such. The headroom is very nice. That the window is adequately sized so you don't feel claustrophobic. This is how the dashboard looks like from the front. You do not get any touch screen, which is sort of a problem, but we'll come to that in a bit. You do not get any AC vents, but you get a cup holder with this cut. You do not get any USB sockets, but you do get that in the Feel variant. Now, there's nothing else to talk about the back seat because it's a very normal space to be in. Again, the expectations shouldn't also be that high given the price of this car. Still, the legroom and the thigh support does not disappoint. You do get child support also. The recline angle is also a bit on the upright side. Now coming to the front of the car, the door treatment is same as what was behind on the rear two doors. Hard plastics all around. You do get two electric adjust buttons for the windows. The handle is not in chrome, it's simple black plastic. You do get the four speaker setup. There's adequate space to keep your bottles and keep your stuff in. This is just a simple backrest adjust for the driver's side, no height adjust on offer in the base variant of the Citroen C3. Coming to the pedals, there is no dead pedal, but there's decent space to keep your left foot, although bit on the lesser side. You do get these levers to open the fuel lid and the tailgate. You get headlight leveler, which is a rather stiff regulator. You get this AC vents, which does not have the chrome garnish like you do get in the Feel. Manually adjustable ORVMs, no electric adjust or auto foldability. The AC vents have the same design, but there is no chrome or no glossy plastic used. You do not get any controls on the steering wheel whatsoever. It's finished in plastic, no leather. You obviously don't get any engine start stop function also. The third spoke is not finished in silver, but the steering feels nice to hold because it's chunky. You do not get any tilt and telescopic function to adjust the steering wheel as well. So the MID is pretty much the same as in the top variant. It's not good in the Feel variant, it's not good in the Live variant, so that there's that. Again, it's still justified for this variant, but it does not do justice to the topmost Feel variant. But again, since we're talking about this car, simple, you get the trip options, you get range information, you get distance to empty, the average, and a normal digital speedometer, which seems to be picked up from a 1990s pager of sorts. Obviously, do get all the important indicators in that cluster. You get wiper controls on the left, headlight controls on the right. There is no auto headlamp or any rain sensing feature as such, rain sensing wipers. Coming to the center console, you do not get any infotainment system. There's this dual shift treatment and a floating design, and you can get an aftermarket infotainment. You get AC vents, which are not finished in chrome but still have a good plastic finish. You get this layered design and you get the dotted treatment just like you do in the Feel variant. The manual AC controls are right there. Good rotary buttons which feel nice to operate. You do not get any USB socket, but you get a 12-volt socket and obviously a hazard lamp button. You do get space to keep your stuff in two cubby holes, one on the top, one on the bottom, and they are good enough in size. Two cup holders. The gear knob is very nicely done, just like in the top variant. You get a manual handbrake, some space to keep your phone or key in. I love this gear knob. I love this finish. Same leather used, and this knob like design is really nice, so I appreciate that. Manual handbrake which feels nice to hold, no leather used as I mentioned. Coming to the glove box, it has a very peculiar button. There's no cool function and the space is adequate enough, not too less, not too much. You do get this shelf-like design just like in the Feel variant, but it does not use any steel like in the Feel variant. You do get this dotted design just like you do in the topmost variant. You do get hard plastics on the top of the dashboard, and the dashboard feels genuinely deep enough. You don't get any mirrors on the sun visors on either sides, none on the co-driver, none on the driver's side. You do get a halogen cabin lamp which does the job okay. There are no grab handles nowhere, which is such a strange thing. I don't know why they have done that. Adjustable headrest, no seatbelt adjuster, obviously since they do not have grab handles only. Okayish bolstering, okayish thigh support, bit on the thinner side, and the fabric is not the same. The design is not the same on the Feel variant. So the fabric design is different. The fabric quality feels the same altogether. It does get two airbags as standard. Now what I definitely miss is a very basic audio system that they could have at least given to at least make those four speakers that they have given operational, even though it shouldn't be a touchscreen, but a very basic system which connects to the Bluetooth or a USB with some buttons would have been a really good touch. It does miss out on a lot of things: a rear parcel tray, a button to open your tailgate, electric windows for the rear, adjustable headrests from the front, and there are quite many things apart from that as well. One of them again being the black plastic door handles. This is 2022 and I get it that the car is relatively lower priced, but still these are very basic hygiene factors which someone paying around 6 to 6.5 lakhs on road not just expects but also deserves. That being said, it still makes a good proposition because the build quality is really nice, the engine is peppy, the comfort is decent, and this elevated hatchback stance that you get actually adds to the experience of the car. What is actually the selling point of the USP of this car is the build quality. The car it competes with does not get the fabric quality that the seats get, the build quality. When you open the doors, when you pick up the bonnet or the tailgate, you realize that nothing feels cheap or light. Now the price difference between this variant and the Feel variant without any vibe pack or any customizations is around 90,000, which is not less by any standard. However, that jump is still justified because you get a lot of features which you don't get in this car. The fog lamps, the DRLs, the body cladding on the sides, body colored handles, central locking, and most importantly an infotainment system which you don't get in this variant. So that makes that 90,000 justifiable. Although if you're on a very tight budget, you can go for this and get the upgrades aftermarket from infotainment system to even the body colored handles. Now if you have the price budget to stretch and you like the C3, I'd rather recommend the Feel variant, which you can check in our other video by clicking on the top right. If you are looking for a car within a budget of 5 to 6 lakhs and looking at the Swift, Tiago, Ignis and the other cars, this is a car to be kept in consideration definitely, because you can get those features in the aftermarket, but the build quality is what matters at this, since you can't adjust that or get the upgrades aftermarket, and the Citroen C3 actually nails when it comes to the build quality. So that was a review of the base variant, or namely the live variant of the Citroen C3. Let us know in the comments what you think about this car. Would you stretch for the Feel, or would you go for this variant, or would you consider some other car in this price bracket? Do let us know in the comments what you feel about the review of the car. Like our video if you appreciate the content, subscribe to our channel and keep watching Throttle Up.